back from the dead.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Today is an interesting chat. Elfie and I had ran across this a while ago, but this is for those of you that are brave enough to join the circle and summon an ancient Loa with us today. So there was a girl, I think this was a couple of years ago, not too long ago, and she was supposedly in a pagan group on Facebook, and she was into like summoning, you know, different entities, gods, goddesses, and she supposedly summoned this Haitian / voodoo hoodoo god named Papa Legba. If I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. I mean, tomato. But, and then a couple days later she was found dead, but it was all like really mysterious circumstances. So we kind of wanted to chat about this. Like, was it really like a paranormal instance, or was it just like the media running with some sort of ghost story like they're used to doing? So we're going to chat about that. Elfie's with me today. Side note, thank you guys for all of your kind messages on Instagram regarding my my torn ligament. So yeah, I thought I'd come on here and I chatted about it on Instagram, but I know not everybody follows me on Instagram. So I was supposed to have this outpatient surgical procedure done last week on a Wednesday, and I went into my doctor, and it was basically a follow-up, and then I'm going to do a YouTube video about it. I don't want to go into like super deets here, but I went into my doctor. I haven't seen my surgeon for like 3 or 4 months because he wanted my last procedure to heal and then go in. So I thought I was having complications, and I was like, you know, he had to do like an MRI and a CAT scan, or I'm sorry, just an MRI and ultrasound is what we did. And he wanted to see how it was healing and if we needed to do any more procedures on that leg. And he's like, well, you know, the good news is like the leg, it's healed, like you're good to go. And I was like, but why am I in pain still? And it's like predominantly like my ankle and my foot. And so I'm laughing because I'm like hysterically embarrassed at this point, honestly. So he's looking at my scans and he's like, so the reason that your foot hurts is that at some point you tore a ligament in 2 places on your foot. And then he like did something and like you could hear it pop, and I was like, oh. He's like, did you hear that? That's the ripped ligament. I was like, oh, well, that's great. So he was like, did you fall? Like, did you do something? I'm like, yeah, probably. Like, I fall often. Like, he's like, do you remember when you fell? And I'm like, no. I mean, I fall a lot. I don't know. And so anyway, I have a temporary brace on right now. My air cast is coming this week. I'm laughing because it's not a good time for Crystal to be in a cast, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm fine. Thank you for everybody that's been messaging me. I haven't been able to reply to all the DMs. I'm also really embarrassed to be replying to the DMs because it's just like, I didn't know my ligament was out. You know what I'm saying, Elfie? Like, I had no idea. How are you, Elfie? How was your week?
Doing good and everything. Sorry to hear that, though. It kind of disturbs me when the doctor's like, do you hear that pop?
Yeah.
That's the ligament. I'm like, oh, that's what that is.
Well, he did it twice, and he was like, because it's like broken here and it's like torn here, you know? And he was like, I have to push on it to make sure that's what it is. Like, because, you know, he's a good doctor. He's not even supposed to be doing that because he's a vein doctor. It's like completely separate. But he was like, yeah, it's definitely, how have you been walking around for like 5 months on a torn ligament? I'm like, I don't know, honestly, you know, I don't know. It's the trauma. So, yeah.
Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, that was hurting. I just didn't think of it.
Well, again, I got my one cast on today, or you know, it's the temporary one, and honestly, my foot, I have no pain. It's like, wow, that was the problem, you know.
That's what it feels like not to hurt. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm so, you know what it is? It's like I work too much. I work 24/7. And like I ignore pain. Like I'm so bad. My mom has a really high pain tolerance. I'm scared to death I'm gonna be like her. Like when she had her heart attack, she walked around for like 4 or 5 days and didn't even know she'd had a heart attack.
Oh wow.
I'm like, that's the Native American culture for you. Like, we're just warriors. We're fine. Like, we've been shot. We're fine. Everything's fine. So, anyway, I'm good. You know, it's really embarrassing to just be like, I had an issue and didn't know it. But that's fine, you know? No worse than this girl with Papa Legba over here.
Yeah, this was a weird one. I mean, I've thought this. Mostly it's not even about the girl. It's more just like how it was reported and everything.
Her name, Kat, right? Her name is Kat Rustin, is her name. Caitlin, or Kat is what they called her for short. So I saw this article. When did this officially happen? It says it was around May of 2020-ish, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so this happened like pretty early on in the pandemic and everything.
That's a rough way to go during a pandemic, you know?
Well, that's the other reason why I'm looking at this kind of side eye when it's like we were at the start of the pandemic, this happens. Like, okay, I'll hear you.
Okay. Elfie's suspicious, okay? Don't be suspicious. No. Well, okay, first of all, let's start with hoodoo and voodoo. I feel like there's misconceptions with hoodoo and voodoo. I don't want to go into like a deep explanation because you could really roll with both of those.
There's a lot.
There is well, it's same with witchcraft, pagan. Like there's a lot. You can take it in a lot of different directions. But you know, one thing I'm gonna say is I feel like, and I'm sure you're gonna agree with me, is the media portrays hoodoo and voodoo as being like all dark and all like blood sacrifices and like you know, bringing zombies back from the dead, right? We hear about that in Haiti and Haitian Vodou or hoodoo, whichever direction they're using. It's and this is just my 2 cents. I'm gonna let Elfie have a rant too. It's like paganism and witchcraft. There's good and bad in everything, you know. Like there's an egg spell that Kat and I do that's it's hoodoo. I believe it's hoodoo, and it's where you cleanse yourself of negative energy, or if anyone's like done spells on you, or like black magic, or you know sent magic your way that's bad. You attach it to the egg and you put it in water and you flush it down the toilet. Like Kat and I've done that spell for years, literally. You have to do like 3 or 4 eggs at a time. So that's not a bad hoodoo thing, but some people would consider it bad because you're looking at the egg as like an embryo and you're attaching the negative energy to the embryo. So I guess it's also on viewpoint. I don't know. But once again, same with paganism and witchcraft. It's not all bloodletting and blood sacrifices. Do you want to rant on it? Do you want to agree or?
Yeah, no, I agree because like, and honestly, if you look at the media has had a good like since almost the beginning of cinema itself. We've seen really bad portrayals of voodoo and hoodoo, and just like you said with zombies and serpent in the rainbow, and just that it is this primitive bloodletting, just aggressive,
yeah, it's a good term for it.
and it's like actually if you look at it, it's like a lot of it deals with lots of healing and taking care of community and community workings and connecting with the spirit and ancestors. A lot of it is the bridging between the living and the dead,
and worshiping the gods and goddesses, or the Loa, however you want to term it.
Yeah, the Loa, who are the spirits of, who are kind of the psychopomps and in between, because there's like, they believe there is one supreme being, but it is like, I guess, too large of an encompass to actually connect with directly. So you have the Loa, who are the in-between psychopomps that connect to very small pieces of that supreme being, depending on what you need worked on or communicate with.
And with the Loa thing, so when I started getting into Loa, I play World of Warcraft. I'm a gamer chick. I love World of Warcraft. I've been nerding out on that game for literally like 10 years or something. And in the last expansion, oh yeah, I love World of Warcraft. Like I'm really bad about it. I love my characters. I'm really good at it. But in the last expansion, they had pulled in Loa, which are different. There's a Loa of death, and they have, so it's interesting to me, once again, like, yeah, you have the media portraying the bad side of hoodoo voodoo, yet in culture and media that we're all like, how many, there's millions of people that play World of Warcraft. Literally, there's even celebrities, like The Rock plays it, Ronda Rousey plays it, like so many celebrities play it too. But like, you have these people that are playing it and they don't even realize that the expansion was based on Hoodoo Voodoo Loa. Like, you're so scared of it, yet you're playing a game that is like surrounding this culture. Like, they almost did an odd to the culture of that, they appreciated it so much that they brought it in with, so it's so confusing what the media does, because it's like you have the one side where they just make it seem all bad, and then the other side where they're incorporating it in video games and people don't even realize it, which is fine, but in other words, it's not bad.
Well, they oversimplify it. They talk about, because there is, in this culture, there is such things as hexing and unhexing, and there are curses and such, and there are different levels and whatnot of practices. And like you said, with both voodoo and hoodoo and these practices, there's so many layers and so many different branches, because there's not just one type of it. I mean, we have, there's the Haitian Vodou, but then there's New Orleans Voodoo, and though both of them have very similarities, there's also great differences between them. So it's not like a cut and dry, like, what's Voodoo, and like just one answer will cover everything.
Well, it's like, and over time, of course, it's going to grow its own different like branches, like much like paganism, witchcraft has. And the original voodoo came from Africa, right? When like, when slaves were brought over.
Yeah.
So who knows what the ancestors are actually practicing there on the grounds, because they're probably still practicing their old and current practices. But I feel bad for people that practice hoodoo and voodoo, because I feel like that's been demonized worse than witchcraft, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. And it's one of those things, is like, because I've seen, there's quite a few documentaries you'll see on History Channel and various shows where they try to talk to current practitioners, and some of them will talk and some of them won't. And it's one of those, I don't blame them for not wanting to talk to the media. I mean, it's totally understandable that you see the examples of how they're spun and portrayed, and even if they're trying really hard to present the truth of it, they know the editing will be changed up. I mean, luckily it has gotten better with some of the like mini documentaries and stuff, but there's still a lot of mystery behind it, and it's just because a lot of them just don't want to openly talk about it probably, because they're like, well, you're going to take it however you are and spin it, so why should I bother talking to you?
I agree. Even Ghost Adventures has had a couple of episodes down in Louisiana. I think it was Myrtle's Plantation. I don't remember. It was a plantation, and they had, I think it was a young boy on, and he was like, yes, like, I practice voodoo, and then someone else practices voodoo, and it was like this, the whole crew was like, you practice voodoo, and it's like, there's bad voodoo, there's bad witchcraft, there's dark practices on everything with magic.
And the thing is, it is honestly, it's a religion, and it's like, it's no different than someone going to church or to temple. I mean, it is them going.
Oh God, don't get Kat started on that, Elfie. Don't get Kat, okay? If you get her rolling on this, because remember, she was brought up extremely Catholic, and her family is still in the church, like, and she loves her family and respects her family. She still goes, she sings at church on Sundays, but, like, that's her way of getting in, is a different way. But, she's like, you drink blood like wine out of a cup to represent Jesus's blood. That's a sacrifice. You guys, like, and people, it's so crazy how one religion is so on a pedestal where millions of people worship it at church, yet there's another side of it where it's like Haitian, voodoo or even witchcraft, and it's like, oh my God, you do blood rituals, but wait a second, you drink wine from a cup that represents Jesus. So I feel like it's like the same thing. Like, that's when Kat will start rolling. Like,
spiritual practices. These are definitely spiritual practices, and the thing is, I think, is there are times you will come across people who do the darker stuff, who practices things that not everyone agrees with, and someone will see that and say and think across the board, oh, all of them do that then. It's everyone. It's like, no, everyone has their own practice. They have their own lineages. They have their own teachers. it is not just one and done.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you know, even referencing back to Catholicism of good and bad, which is in every of society. That's who we are. There's good and bad of everything, and that's even like the priests that we've talked about that have gotten in trouble for, you know, the little boys. And so there is no there is dark and light with all sides, and all sides have to sort of be not embraced on the Catholic side. That's bad. Like, those people need to go to jail. But I mean, understanding that not everything is like, we're gonna like slit someone's throat and die. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Hollywood portrays it, don't you?
Oh yeah, all of Hollywood, and they saw this as a way of like, oh, we can freak people out really easily. How do you do it? Well, we'll just have these drums and sacrificing chickens.
Why am I laughing? It's so dramatic, though. Who really is gonna do that? Where do you get the chicken, first of all?
And it's like, you know that most of the time there are chickens, like there are chickens and roosters sometimes you'll see for divination stuff or sacrifices, but as far as I know, the chicken is then eaten afterwards.
Okay.
As an offering.
Right, and I'm not saying, and I don't partake in offerings, but you're right, there are some cultures that do that. I will never do that. I would rather keep the chicken as a pet. Let me have the chicken and take it back to Vegas, okay? Can I give you a few $100s in exchange for this chicken, okay?
No. You have the Rooster George, and George participates. It's like, who's Roosters? Oh, that's just George. He gets involved in ritual. It's okay.
Elfie, no, okay. Hang on a second. You're giving me a flashback to us filming the pilot, okay?
Oh no.
Did I tell you about this woman? Did
Wait,
Kat didn't tell you about this? Oh, should I even talk about this on the stream right now? It's bad. Okay, I'm going to tangent for a sec, because you're gonna die when you hear this, okay? So, oh my god, Kat's already like on it. She's like, the poor chicken. Okay.
Oh no.
So we show up to, obviously I put the pilot, you know, on YouTube, and it was Chloride, Arizona is where we went. And we were in Chloride, and I was going to interview this woman. We stayed at this really haunted, like, bed and breakfast. Now it's a bed and breakfast, but it was like the original inn for Chloride. So it's literally like 300 or 400 years old. Okay. Kat just said the alien lady. Yes. Okay. The woman was the alien. I told you I couldn't even interview her for the pilot because she was it was rough. You know what I mean? It was just really rough. Yeah. And so anyway, the second to last day, we're filming because we're on set for like 3 or 4 days. She comes over to us and she's like, yeah, the coyotes, you know, they get my chickens from time to time. And we're like, God, that's horrible. Like, why don't you like put up a fence or something, or, you know, like I don't know. And she's like, I can't, like, I gotta let them like run free. And I'm like, yeah, well then your chickens are gonna get eaten, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so then she goes, well, I think she named it George. She's like, I had this rooster, and this rooster was named George. And we were like, okay, where's this woman going with this? And
seriously?
I swear to God this happened. Ask Kat. Kat, confirm in the comments I'm not lying.
I did not know of a rooster named George until now.
And she's like, but once again, so out of nowhere, she's like, I have this rooster named George, and he was really obnoxious, but he made a delicious soup, and I had to sacrifice him. What? And Kat and I were like, you know what? We have a few more hours left of filming. It's really time to go. Like, it's time to go.
Look at the time.
But how do you call something a pet and then you turn around, you know what I mean, and eat it? Anyway.
I mean, you don't. So, like Gordon Ramsay says, don't name the farm life.
We were like, oh, we need to go. This is bad. We need to get out of here. But yeah, no, so I mean, I get it. You're right. Like, I don't agree but there are cultures still to this day. There was like an episode of 90 Day Fiancé I was watching because I'm freaking obsessed with that dysfunctional show. And it's one of my favorite shows. And I was watching the show, and I think it was Ethiopia is where they were living, which is probably Haitian Vodou, who knows? Or not Haitian, I'm sorry, Vodou, who knows? And she married this guy, had his baby in Ethiopia, and they went home in Ethiopia, and outside of the house when she arrived, his family pulled up with a goat and right in front of her and the new baby, she's American, they just sacrificed the goat right there. And she was like screaming and bawling her eyes out. So and she
should have given a warning on that.
should have given a warning.
I know I understand probably why they did it, like
Alfie, I'm
the
crying.
reasons, but
Oh God.
I feel like someone's like, don't tell her, just do it.
Well, his family, he was the only one that spoke English, I think, out of the whole family. And she was crying her eyes out. Her baby saw it. I'm sure the baby won't remember, but she was like, oh my God, why did your family do that? And he's like, it's celebration of life. We give the goat's life back to God because he gave us our child's life. And she's like, you didn't have to kill the goat. Like, she was really upset. But once again, so I'm just giving examples of, like, you're right. It's a cultural thing. And no, we wouldn't do that here. But it is something practiced in all other cultures across the world, and there's nothing we can do about it.
I think it's partially that. And I think it's partially, like, at least in rural America and everything, we are so far apart from our food these days that, like, I don't think, unless you live in the countryside or live on a farm, I think not many people really think much about the process of your food going from the farm to the table and everything. So it's like we're very disconnected from that too.
That's why I'm pretty much vegetarian.
Yeah,
I can't. I do. It's true. Like, that's why I was vegan for a long time, but it's hard for me. I still do incorporate chicken, but I do. I empath the shit out of animals. And that's why I can't. And kids. I'm terrible. Like, I'm just, it's so bad. I would have a farm if I could already. You know what I mean? I mean, the pilot, we tried to rescue a Chihuahua.
I saw that too.
That was just
determined.
It's like,
I was like, no, leave me alone.
I told Kat, I was like, we're going to be filming a series and we're going to be out on the road and I'm going to come home with 20 dogs just from freaking filming across America,
Oh my God, that'd be so cute because I'm like, oh, fur babies.
Oh God, I'll have to find like rescues anywhere. Okay, so let's just get back on track because obviously we're way off in left field, but it's fine. I love doing that. You know what I mean? Okay, you did research on this. So what's your, like, what do you spurred out what you started looking into this with research?
Yeah. And it's one of those, like, okay, so with Papa Legba, it's one of those, like, unfortunately, he apparently gets mixed up between, like, when people show visual of Papa Legba, like, everyone, I think we mentioned it, the American Horror Story, Coven and everything.
We haven't talked about that, but you can, do it. That was another inspiration for the stream. I love all the characters on American Horror Story. Although I can't watch all of them because some of them are so gory. Like, the way they film that is way too damn realistic. Amazing. Like, the whole production crew is amazing. But yeah, that was another part of this stream. It's just, I love when they bring these characters to life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they put so much detail. Yeah, the gory part, especially, like, it's just sometimes very sudden. Like, oh, that just happened. Okay.
She's Alfie. Yeah, there was one, like, I got through Coven. Like, Coven was pretty, there was some gory stuff, but I could get through that one. Coven was probably my favorite one, obviously, the witches stuff, but Bates, or was it the Bates Hotel one, or was it the hotel one with Lady Gaga? Ooh, yeah, that was rough. That was
one of my favorites, though.
Was it really?
Oh yeah, I think it was mostly just because I loved how Lady Gaga was as the Countess.
Yes.
Like, I'll watch it all
and
the time.
Her character didn't really bother me. It was some other things that happened. I was like, whoa, I need a break. I can't go back to it but it's filmed beautifully.
That in Freak Show actually was, to me, more disturbing.
I watched all of Freak Show. I did watch that.
Yeah, that one was like, yay.
The clown was, I'm not a clown person. I'm not really scared of him though when I, like, it's not like that kind of fear, even though you have it literally sitting behind you on a shelf. But you're like smiling, yeah. But like, yeah, I'm not a clown person. I'm not a doll person. Mm-hmm. But it's not like nightmare style. It's just like, ugh.
It honestly, for me, the creepy part with Freak Show was more the treatment of humans, like the treatment of these people just trying to live their life and everything. And it was very emotionally roller coaster for me. Like it was a lot,
And that they were based off real people that were in this like sideshow, and it was really just, I mean, real. If we just tear it down, it's people with disabilities that are basically people are making money off of them.
Oh yeah,
It's really sick. Yeah, it's disturbing. So bad.
Right.
So Papa Legba, he is a Loa, which I love. He kind of reminds me in World of Warcraft as oh my god, what is the Loa that's in there? That's the he's the Loa of death. Bonsomni is my favorite Loa. Yeah, oh my god, it's just my favorite Loa. But he has kind of that.
He seemed the two of them sometimes seem to get mixed up in culture because I think it's both of them deal with the crossroads. And
Yes,
everything. So
they
I think
do.
people flip the two sometimes.
We should do another Loa because this is just fascinating to me.
Yeah, Baron
But
Somebody actually, there's so much on
oh,
Loa. Like
that Loa, that's
Loa.
favorite. Like hands down, he's the Loa of death, right, Bonsomni? Okay.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Papa
Well,
Legba.
he's of cemeteries and such, but with
You should play World of Warcraft then if you like Bonsomdi because like he is like predominantly in World of Warcraft. Like he is like literally like living at the gravesite overseeing the souls come in. It is the coolest shit.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh my god, it's amazing. I'm sorry.
I have to take a look at that. I need to get back into gaming.
Oh my god, get into gaming. Let's do it. Cat plays WoW too.
So Papa Legba, he's the one you encounter when you first, like, if you're doing any work with any of the Arloa, he's the first person that you're dealing with because he's the guardian of the gates and everything. So a lot of times you'll sometimes even see in cultures where if they're going to a cemetery or if they're about to open up a ritual circle, they'll knock 3 times either at the gate or on the ground, and they'll call for Papa Legba to open up the doorway because until he opens up the doorway to allow communication, there's no connecting with the rest of Loa.
So essentially, he gives you permission. Is that how you would word it?
Permission. He's almost kind of like he, the bouncer. Like he's the guy at the gate going like who allows that connection to occur.
Okay. So he's almost like a what's the word I'm looking for? Liaison, I guess, of the other side. Yeah. Okay.
So and most of the time when you see him, he's an older looking gentleman. He has a straw hat. He has a cane. He walks with a slight limp and everything. He's very father figure like. He's actually really like pleasant Loa from what it sounds like. He's one that you can connect with who helps you with the in between because he is one of those psychopomps that works in between life and death and everything.
It says that he can speak all languages, so that's interesting, which I would expect you to. No, I read the same thing, that he wasn't combative is a good word for it. He's just like, he's either going to allow it to happen or not, probably depending on the person's skill and like belief system and culture. I'm just going to say right off the bat, when we're going to be wrapping this over, we're not going to jump ahead yet, but wrapping this back to the story of this girl, this isn't the kind of, I mean, I know he's a Loa, but even comparing it to God and goddesses, he's not the kind I would be afraid that would kill somebody.
Yeah, he's not, he doesn't really, like, there is a trickster nature to him, but it's not a malevolent trickster nature from what I've at least been able to cover. Now, since a lot of the voodoo at times does have Catholic imagery and Catholic saint connection, he's often connected with Saint Peter, who's the saint of the gates of heaven, who holds the keys of heaven, but also Saint Lazarus and Saint Anthony as well.
Interesting. Now, when they say he's accompanied by dogs, do you think that's like a hellhound image or just regular, like the dogs of like guarding the gates, essentially?
I think it's partially guardians of gates. The dog's image might also be similar to Karen eaters and such, since dogs are often seen around cemeteries and whatnot. So that might be his connection too.
Okay.
Similar to like Anubis with the jackals at the cemeteries, or even Hecate, who is accompanied by dogs as well.
Right, right. That makes sense. Makes sense. So it's just another version of these stories, which is like how all religions and beliefs are.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these different entities, energies that people worship in different ways. Like, that's what I want to make a point of. Really, when you strip these religions down, they're not really different from one of the other. They're just like, the core belief systems are similar. They've just been kind of spun in different directions. And that's where I think the fear needs to be sort of removed from. So a lot of people say he's seen as like a father figure. Now, the trickster is like, he's supposed to be a jokester type of thing, or he like makes you solve puzzles or riddles or something like that.
Yeah, it's like he has a humor about him, because it's one of those, he's there to help, but it's not like he's going to hand you the answer. It sounds like almost like he's going to make you work for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a simple thing. But he's not there to be like, because there are like tricksters and jokesters, and there's malicious ones and slightly less malicious, but he does not sound like the malicious kind necessarily.
So now, like any Loa or god or goddess, in order to communicate with them, obviously you have to do some sort of a summoning, or summoning a circle, seance, and there's usually some sort of offering that's included. So what kind of offering do you have to bring in to bring him in?
Well, him is pretty simple. Like, his colors are like black, red, white, and yellow. And then offerings will be oftentimes like stuff you can leave at the gates of the cemetery are candy, rum, cigars, coffee, basically some sort of nice food offering to show your respects. Because that's the other thing, is like you're calling on Papa Legba to help you connect with the spirits of the cemetery or the ritual, and you're basically, this is this kind of like good etiquette if you're entering into someone's house or something.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is that I would like to address is, if the girl Kate, or what was her name, Caitlin, if she didn't do this properly, I saw on social media people were saying, oh, because she didn't summon him correctly, he killed her. Is that usually what happens if you don't do a summoning correctly?
I don't think so, no. I don't.
Elfie?
No.
That was so polite. I don't think so. No. Okay.
It's one of those things. I mean, similar to like in Paganism and Witchcraft, people are like, oh my god, if you pronounce it wrong, like the gates of hell will suddenly crack open. Like,
Jesus, that got extreme. Holy crap. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing that annoys me, is that they make streams like, if you do this spell incorrectly, everything will go wrong and you'll be cursed. And it's like, more likely nothing will happen.
The only thing I've had go wrong, I have done, there's one time I summoned a circle and I was doing a spell. It was just, bring like, money to you, and like, the, abundance spell type of thing. And I had summoned the circle, and I realized I had left everything I needed in the other room. Okay. So, and I'm like, I'm kind, even for an experienced witch, if that's what you want to call me, I was like, well, shit, that was stupid. Like, so I was like, okay, shut the circle really quick and then come back in. Well, I did it so fast, I reopened the circle again. I went the same direction to open it. Okay. And then I ran out of the circle, came back in, and I was like, I am so dizzy because I ran out of the circle. So, like, but once again, are you going to burn in the fiery pits of hell? That is something that humans have made up, people, okay? Like, Jesus.
I've heard people do spells where, like, abundance spells or love spells, where it kind of goes wonky. It doesn't go, like, horribly wrong, but it, like, doesn't go the way they want, and it's usually how they worded it or something, and just kind of snap back wrong, and they're like, okay, don't do that again.
Okay, yeah, I have an example for that. I knew somebody, Kat and I used to know somebody who did blood spells. And when I say blood spells, it was their own blood, okay? I mean, not me, okay? I don't care what people do. Your body, man, you do what you want. I don't care. But, and they, another thing with spell work is you don't want to do 400 spells at once, okay? Because, like, you've got to make sure the first one completes itself before you
Don't have too many tabs open at
E-
once.
Exactly. No, that's a perfect way of putting it,
Yeah.
Elfie. Don't, you know, when you're on your computer and you have like 400 tabs open and your
Mhm.
computer shuts down or it gets slow? Yeah, that's spell work. Don't do 400 spells at once. Like, do maybe one, two max, let them play out, and then do another one, you know? Like, there's a reason you do like a full moon spell and then a new moon spell because you can't have that many going at once. But anyway, this person that we once knew was into blood magic, their own blood. Fine, do your thing. I don't care. And they would do a spell every day, every couple of spell. And I'm just like, and what ended up happening was they had a lot of bad things happen in their life.
Yeah.
And I think it's because you just can't, you can't do that. You know what I
There
mean?
might have been a whole bunch of that just collided with each other.
Well, yeah, the universe, like, you just gave me like 400 requests here. I don't know, like, I can't, like, wait, you're not being patient at all.
Like,
And
which do you want first?
right, yeah, like literally. And then it gets into a jumbled mess. So that's the only sort of thing I've seen with repercussions of doing spell work is like, you know, don't do.
Well,
Go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, like, to me, I think maybe people get confused. Like, there's daily ritual you can do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's daily ritual work to recharge yourself, to reset altars, to make offering stuff that you can do every day that is just kind of cycling through the energy and helping keep your practice up and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like you said, there's the doing 400 spells and just overloading yourself and the universe, and the universe going, what do you want first? You
Right,
asked for
right.
too
Well,
much.
mantras, daily, you know, manifestations. What are you talking about? Meditations, like, you know, making
Yeah.
lists of things that you like want to accomplish. That's not the same thing as like doing a full blown like, and especially blood spells. I mean, I assume blood spells
That
work.
takes
That's
a lot of
deep.
energy.
It is. That's a lot, and that's exhausting, and
Yeah.
it will backfire. It will backfire.
Well, and also, it's like you kind of have to think about, because at least for me personally, when you're doing a ritual work, you're tethering out a piece of yourself to do a ritual, to send out something for whatever reason. So if you've got multiple going, that is a lot of your personal energy being put out there with nothing really coming back. So you're going to end up just depleting yourself
Mm-hmm.
before anything might come to fruition.
Mm-mm. It's so true. And you need to make sure there's some good intent behind it because not everybody believes in the rule of three, which means if you put something bad out there, it'll come back to you times three. I do believe in that rule, but I've also never, I've had people put hexes on me and curse me and stuff, especially being on YouTube. And I've known people in my life too that haven't liked me that have done stuff. They've admitted it to me, like face to face.
Oh,
And I'll be like, well, nothing happened, boo. And they'll be like, yeah, I just wanted to apologize because it came back to me threefold. And I'm like, well, it's what you get, you know? But, you know, none of my business. So, yeah, there are rules when it comes to magic. But it's so Hollywood to be like, oh, yeah, she summoned this Loa and it killed her 2 days later. And you're like, oh, God, here we go again.
and from the looks of it, it was like a comment or a post or something, and they're like, someone found it, like, oh my god, it was this is the reason, and everything. It's like, we don't know the reason. You seem to be jumping now to a conclusion.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, now, okay, I guess we're going to jump ahead. It's fine. This girl that summoned him was white. I'm just going to say it. I know that I'm white passing even though I'm Native American. And so I'm not ashamed to say, like, I think race was a factor that was brought into the negotiation that was ongoing on social media over this girl. People were basically saying that she was white, and because she summoned a Haitian Loa, who is of African American culture, he basically was shunning her because she was some stupid white girl. I don't really think race was the problem here, to be honest. Like, in my opinion, on the other side, I don't think race is an issue. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a human experience. I think that's an earthling experience. I don't think that she was killed by the Loa because she was white. What do you think about it?
I don't think so, just because there is many different, voodoo is a African religion and everything, but it's also has evolved and changed, and depending on which branch you're talking about, there are so many different people and cultures who do who are involved with it. And I think, like, if you look at the photos, you see this very much young white girl and they just zeroed in on that of like, oh, she caused trouble because of this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That, and it I think is that I can understand where some of the hostility comes from, because there has been so much discussion in the occult and paganism, and even in the voodoo culture and stuff, from looks of it, at least online. I don't know, like, in person or anything, because that's not area of mine. But there is this continued talk about appreciation and appropriation. And I don't know if this is people's knee-jerk reaction of, well, here's another white person
Cultural
appropriating.
I have a perfect example. for it, which is, there's a thing, I don't know if you've seen on social media that's going around, but it's been a thing of, I think it was kind of started by the newer generation that's coming up. And it started on TikTok of people saying that do not buy or use white sage unless you're Native American.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you've seen, this is all over TikTok.
I've heard of the big debate back and forth about
Oh, yeah. It's still ongoing. And,
yeah.
Kat got on the phone with me the day she saw it, and she was like, how do you feel about this? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, essentially they're saying, like, do not ever, and I've, in rebuttal of, because I like to play devil's advocate, I have seen Native American people, not just not the younger generation, get on this train of, white people can't use our sage. I have seen Native Americans say that.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about this before. I asked my spirit guides to get my grandmother involved because I wanted to know her opinion on it, because I couldn't see the problem in it. I didn't see how that was cultural appropriation. For me, other Native Americans or indigenous people can feel that way if that's how they feel. I disagree with that. And the message I sort of got from my grandmother was, she came to me in a dream and she said, we were oppressed. We were on the Trail of Tears and we survived. And we did not survive genocide for you to be sitting there fighting over sage. So that was a really strong statement from my grandmother. And she was like, if someone needs help, we want them to incorporate sage into their, you don't have to be Native American spiritualism to use it. So I highly disagree with that, with cultural appropriation when it comes to spiritualism, because sage has been known for, hundreds of years to remove negative energy and negative spirits. And I don't expect someone to have to follow Native American lineage just to be able to use it. There's another thing that's online that says, like, okay, well, if you're white and you want to use sage, you can use it as long as you buy it from Native American, vendors. And you have to get their permission. I don't agree with that either, man. I'm sorry. Like, support small businesses for sure. But then they were saying, like, the white sage was stolen from the indigenous lands and the white man was recreating it and then doing agriculture. And I'm like, where did y'all get this from? Like, that could have happened somewhere maybe. But there are literally farms for white sage in California. I've been to those farms. Like, they farm it. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think that you should be like, oh, sage is owned by indigenous and you can't use it unless you're indigenous. I'm indigenous, and I had people coming at me saying, you're too white to be able to use sage. And I'm like, because I bleach my hair, I have bloodline. I'm registered with the tribe. Like, it shouldn't matter what I look like on the outside. So it's just, it's the human experience, in my opinion, of earthlings fighting over useless wars.
And I've heard the debate, and I think part of it was debate over whether or not, like, white sage was being over harvested, if it was going extinct, because some people were like, oh my god, it's going extinct, it's being over harvested. And the other one was the use of the word smudging instead of using the proper word, instead of using the word smoke cleansing, because it was the idea that smudging is a particular form of cleansing, and then just the general.
Well, they were basically saying smudging is the spiritualism of the native tribes, and which is true. Yeah. But, like, I'm honest to God, like, if my grandmother were here, she would be like, this is ridiculous. Why are we even having this conversation? My family, my grandmother escaped poverty because the res is poverty. Like, I mean, to this day, the res is poverty. I still have family on the res that's just poverty. And they, unfortunately, they have some serious generational trauma that my grandmother used to talk to me about, and it's still being passed on to this day. And the generational trauma is they were forced onto the reservations and don't leave because it's not safe. We were forced onto the res and don't leave because it's not safe with the outside world, and then they're afraid to leave, and then you do get things like this happen, that we don't want to share the stage with the white people because they already took everything from us. But my grandmother escaped poverty and left because she said she knew she needed to. I wouldn't be here if she wouldn't have left the res. You know what I mean? And she was really ahead of her time. And my family is very much like build a longer table, not a wall type of people. Meaning, like, if you want to incorporate our religious beliefs and spiritualism, please do. If you have a demon in your house, please go buy some white sage. Please do. Like, I just, it's, and this girl, like, she, Caitlin, whatever her name, Kate Cat, she identified as pagan. She was in, like, a pagan, like, Facebook group and whatnot online.
Yeah.
She was a witch, and then she got interested in hoodoo and voodoo and started incorporating it. People are saying, oh, she's white, she shouldn't have done that. Now, I can't speak for people that are hoodoo and voodoo because I don't necessarily call upon their gods, goddesses, deities, Loa. But, like, I do think that if you have some sort of interest in the culture, it's okay to incorporate it.
Oh, I think it's one of those things where it is that line between... It's that knee-jerk reaction between appropriation and appreciation, because it's also that thing where I've seen the overarching extreme where it's one thing to be aware of different cultures and to try to understand, learn, instead of just like cherry picking stuff. But then people get to the extreme, like, well, because you're not from here, not from this culture, and aren't the right type of person, you're not allowed. Support, but don't buy or read or anything, but still support, which I'm not sure how that's possible.
Well, going back to my culture of Native American, I was interested in witchcraft at a very young age, and my grandmother loved spiritualism, and, she didn't call it witchcraft, she called it spiritualism. My aunt was into witches. I've talked about that. She had witches all over her house. My other Irish side, my Irish Scottish side, came from witches that were actually burned at the stake along with my English side. And as a Native American, I'm not supposed to practice witchcraft. That's a big no-no. And the reason is that in our culture and our family of our homeland and on the reservation, the only people that are allowed to practice magic are the shamans or druids, and those are the medicine people. And if you did any sort of magic practice, it's looked down upon. So I'm a perfect example of merging two complete sides and that I'm not supposed to merge, you know what I mean? Like, using my native, and I'm not calling myself a shaman, like, at all. No, that's not allowed. Like, I would have to be on the res and study under a shaman, and I'd have to be chosen by the shaman. But you would be shunned on the res if you were, like, openly practicing paganism or witchcraft. But my aunt did, too. And, she's more native than I am. And so once again, you're right. Why do I have to be determined just because of my bloodline what I have to practice? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to stop practicing witchcraft / paganism just because I'm Native American. I'm going to incorporate both sides. And
it works, and if it works for you and you understand it, and it clicks. Mm-hmm. If it clicks right for you.
Well, it's just a shame that there's such a line drawn with all of these. Because you're right, it's more of appreciation in my eyes. If someone's taking your culture, hoodoo, voodoo, and they're so interested in it, they're incorporating it in their daily, like, practices. Mm-hmm. How is that a bad thing? Why are they being shunned on for that? Like, that means they love your culture. My mom is obsessed with BTS. Like, she's obsessed with South Korean culture. Obsessed. I mean, she eats the food. She's, like, into it. Like, she loves South Korea. Like, she wants to go there. You know what I mean? But once again, why should that be shunned when you're, like, that interested in it? I don't get it.
I'm not sure either. I mean, it's one of those, like, dialogue does need to be talked about, because there has unfortunately been times when these cultures, and it's because I think it might be like we were going back with Hollywood and voodoo and how it's portrayed, is they've been picked over so much, and they've been misrepresented, and they've been misused. And so even when there is a possibility of someone wanting to practice it properly, there is probably that knee-jerk reaction of like, what are you going to do?
Oh,
How are you going to represent this?
When I was reading through this girl when she died, like it was a very public thing because she had announced on social media that she like summoned Papa Legba, which by the way, I don't really agree with the way she said it, because she made it sound like she summoned Papa Legba and he was just hanging out at her house for days. Like, that doesn't happen, okay? Like, he has other things to do, okay?
That sounds very much like the witch TikTok I've seen, where people are like, I have 5 deities hanging out in my house. That much
I'm
is quite
screaming. You're like, wow, that's a lot.
Right.
Can I meet them? Like, bring them on over. You know what I mean?
Like,
No,
Apollo, Hades, Thor, they're all hanging out. I
I'm
hope you have
screaming.
ground rules.
Oh my god, I'm dead. Because it's true. That's how it sounds.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad. But when she died a couple days later after she had announced that Papa Legba was there, there were people that were followers or practitioners of hoodoo voodoo that were like, she deserved to die because she summoned our Loa without our permission. I'm like, who do you call for the permission?
Also, I didn't. It's like, no. Also, it's like,
no, Elfie.
Your permission, personally?
No, I know. I don't understand. I just don't understand. And first of all, no one. You should never. That is black magic saying somebody deserved to die, and that's gonna come back times 3, in my opinion, to you just for saying that.
And it's like, I feel like that. I think that's also, like I said, I think that some of that came out of a knee-jerk, the internet, which is just, it's the internet. Don't. I think
it can be dark. Let's be real. I mean, social media can be dark.
Oh yeah, people go dark real fast on it. Like, they say stuff where it's like, you probably would not say that.
I mean, okay, let's compare for a second, Elfie. Like, we have Shaylee that's now on that we'll chat about that at the end of the conversation and talk about her. She's the newbie of the group. And I've done YouTube for 7 years or whatever, and then I was on obviously with Travel Channel, and then I was signed to Sci-Fi. But you're like the elder of the group, right? Like, you're the wise elder of the group. She's the oldest. She's very wise. She's the goddess of the group. She's done Paranormal State for how many seasons? Like, you are we're the ones that worship you. But you've been doing this for a while, and so have I. And I mean, it's not easy, is it, being on social media and having your whole life played out in front of millions of people?
Oh God, no. And I remember, like, even at the early times when social media wasn't yet quite a thing, like MySpace days.
Oh my God, were you on MySpace? Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was on that.
So did you get a lot of people come after you that didn't like you from Paranormal State?
I had a few. I don't think it was quite so bad as probably like today it would be, but I did have my fair share of people being negative and like really just horrible comments of like, especially the backhand ones, like, oh, you're this, but it'd be better if you did this, this, and this,
yeah.
and like, oh, thanks.
Don't read my YouTube comments then, girl, okay? I used to be able to manage them. I just let them go anymore, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I learned really early, like, don't read the comments. Don't react, because I did react a couple times to comments because I raged out.
Did you? I did that in the beginning.
Did.
Yeah.
I raged. But then you learn real quick, like, oh wait, these are just trolls. These are people who literally hop on, make their smart ass remarks, and then they flitter off to the next place to be the troll. So it's one of those, like, just don't.
That's when you do shadow work, though, and you realize when people are so angry enough to like write out a book comment to like tell you how bad they hate you and how dumb you are, is like, wow, they have some serious like energy inside of them that's like dark, and like that's a reflection of themselves. Like, it really is.
So much of it's projection, and so much of it's like, there was a point where I felt bad because it's like, you just spent this amount of time saying this stuff when it's like, don't you have energy to put into something else for yourself instead of just being angry? So yeah, I've seen the ugly of it, and it's one of those where I think that's the I have to you have to look with like these comments here with Cat when with
With the
how
cat
they
girl.
reacted.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
It was bad.
And I don't know how much of it is like I think part of it's trolls making their comments, and then part of it might be also people react knee jerk reaction of like, oh, which TikTok or just media fluff stuff dragging voodoo through the mud some more and making assumptions.
Yeah, I agree. But it's sad. Like both sides. Like I agree. Like their belief system, hoodoo voodoo, shouldn't have been dragged through the mud so bad. But I also
Yeah, I
agree.
mean,
Like even when someone's passed, you shouldn't go and be like, "Oh, I'm glad you're dead." Like, whoa, that is
that's
black magic, ho. Like, woo.
that's harsh. Like also it's like you also have to think too like the family is also no matter the cause of the death, the family is grieving because they lost a daughter and a sister. Like it's still a human being.
Oh, I know. But that's what social media is like. It's soulless sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Like
it's
I mean I
soulless and
have
it's so
like my
beautiful.
Instagram's under control. Like Twitter goes off the hook sometimes. Like I get some people that are just ranting, and then honestly I'll just like mute them. I'm like, you know what, I want you to watch my stuff,
Mhm.
I just don't want to see what you have to say back. And like
Yeah.
sometimes Kat will call me and be like, this person messaged you on or sent you a tweet and it was horrible, and I was like, I can't see it. You know why? Because it's muted. I can't
Yeah.
see you, and it doesn't put me in a bad
It makes it
mood.
do.
No, it's true, but it's sad because it shouldn't be so dark. But it's crazy. Like that's proof of how much struggle is going on this planet.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
also I think some of those comments probably were not so much directed at her personally. I could see it possibly just at the press of how they spun it. Like they take this one bit and they spin it to, oh my god, this big thing when it probably wasn't.
Well,
And so
that's a
there
perfect
might be
tangent to go on to where it's AHS, because didn't AHS make him into Papa Legba was basically the devil and he was taking the souls into hell or something like that?
Mhm.
So I mean, that's why, it's like that's not even what this Loa is about, and now the Loa is in the media again, and
Oh
they're
yeah,
like,
because
great.
that was 20 2013 was when Coven came out.
And didn't they have to do like human sacrifices or something? And in reality, there to pull in Papa Legba or like worship him, you don't have to do any sacrifices.
Yeah, it was Marie Laveau, and she had made a deal with him. Basically, she would sacrifice a baby every year to stay immortal.
Marie Laveau, that's the voodoo queen.
Yeah. I was so
I think
okay.
that's
Like,
just an excuse to want to sacrifice a baby. Who does that? And where does one get the baby? I don't get it. I have so many, not that I really want to know the answers, but I have a
where
lot
do
of
you get that
questions.
baby?
Where do you get the baby? Who's going to be like, take my baby? Like, what is, and what's wrong with you if you do? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You make a post. I need a baby for sacrifice. They want to get a free one.
my God, what is wrong with people? Like, literally, you know what I mean? But, like, yeah, I mean, so obviously, so they're saying Marie Laveau did Papa Legba wrong. But really, out of nowhere, everyone's going to start defending Papa Legba. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But,
Thing
like,
is,
they're all
too.
offended now because he's in the media all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, and the thing was too is like I really enjoyed Coven the whole bit, but
oh,
like
me too,
and
oh my
I
God.
Marie Laveau, I can't remember the actress name, but her playing Marie Laveau was awesome. The visuals was awesome. But then when Papa Legba showed up, first of all, when I saw him, it was like Baron Samedi, but they're like Papa Legba. I'm like, no, that's
Right.
not
No, but
right.
they were confusing the two. You're right. They once again muted the two Loas together.
And then you see him like snorting drugs and just being basically they made him more out to be like a devil figure.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that is so not right. Oh, you're going to get so much hate
But
coming in.
okay, but on the reverse side, okay, because I love playing devil's advocate. It's my freaking favorite thing in the world. What would happen on TV
Mm.
if they were to take something and take the image of Jesus and turn him into a drug addict and make him look crazy like that? People would lose
Oh,
their
people would lose their minds.
minds.
Oh yeah.
Lose it.
I mean, like, oh jeez. I
But the
mean,
point
now
is
now
that,
they're
like,
doing this.
okay, so you can take a Haitian god, we'll just call him a god, you know, it's easier than a Loa,
Yeah.
and you can turn him into the devil. But, like, if someone took that to Jesus, oh my god, okay, the South has
I
risen
mean, like,
again, it's the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, literally.
I mean, people probably lost their mind when you had that movie Dogma come out and you had Buddy Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
and they had
With Ben
God
Affleck.
was a woman,
Yep. I
and
remember that
people
movie.
probably lost their collective.
Well, and imagine that wasn't even when, like, social media was a thing.
Oh no! If it came out today, people would just lose it and
Cancel
everything.
culture,
But it's like,
I'm tired of it. Like, I do, like, you know, I've said with cancel culture, I get when you're a pedo, or, you know, like, you do things you should, like, you know, rapey things, yeah, cancel. But, like, just Eminem, leave him alone, man. You know, like,
well, it was thing was okay. So I get okay. So first off, like with American Horror Story Coven, I would hope that no one would ever take that show and utilize it as education or how-tos of any kind. It is strictly entertainment,
mm-hmm,
ghost stories, and horror.
mm-hmm,
It is nothing. There's no level of education. It's cool that they do base off some actual people, and
right.
you can pull that part, but it should never be like this is how to do a ritual.
I think that's why I like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's not spot on perfect, of course, because it still has to be made for Hollywood. But it was pretty closely accurate to the way you do, like, a summoning circle. Like, I think that's why I liked it, because it was the most realistic version of seeing witchcraft being brought to the media and it not being shunned.
I think with that too is like even though it was very like you said very glamorized and such, it really did showcase more like there has to be rules and balance, and a lot of it was a lot of sympathetic magic
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So that was pretty cool. And with the coven, I know for sure like okay, if you actually had Papa Legba, how he actually is presented pop up, he probably wouldn't have been that like people have been like who's this, but everyone has always seen Baron Samedi in the top hat, and
Mm-hmm.
like there's a Baron Samedi in a 007 movie,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's more recognizable, but they're like well just switch the name out, no one will notice, but everyone noticed.
Everyone's like, wait, you just you, how did you just mute two Loa together? I'm
Yes.
confused.
So it just I feel like I don't know where they were trying to go with that, and it's like why did you make him like a devil figure, like this super evil? When you had beforehand, you had Marie Laveau actually doing stuff to help her community and heal her community, but then she turns around and sacrifices babies. That I don't know. It just they're like we can't make them too good. We gotta remind people that they're actually evil or something.
There was something the other day. I can't remember what I was watching. I think I was watching it with Kat. I think it was on the Gaia app again. But it was some episode that was talking about, like, the term Hollywood is,
Mm-hmm.
like, literally means, like, it's something like land of spells or something. There's some, like, meaning behind it. And
Oh, okay.
I can't, don't quote me. I'll have to go back and find this. But Kat and I were like, "Oh my god, it makes sense." But it was basically saying, like, Hollywood. It literally means like we're controlling you through the media of, like, the propaganda we're giving you and feeding you.
Mm.
Not only, and I'm not ragging on it, because obviously I'm a filmmaker, and obviously, like, we want to shoot a series, like, that's the ultimate goal. But we also want to do it right, and we don't want to shame these religions, and, like, there's so much history, like, you just need to let it speak for itself.
Mm.
Like, it's
Well, I
cool
think
to watch and understand without making it into a ha-hoo, you know what I mean? A hoo-ha, whatever. A
yeah, and the
ha-hoo.
thing with
I'm dyslexic.
hoo-ha. Uh,
Oh, shit.
I think with that too, it's like I get that you have to kind of glamorize it up. You have to zhuzh it up and make it a little more bright and spectacular for
Mm-hmm.
TV because it will translate correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there could have been a better way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if someone just got lazy on the writing, or like, we will make this extra scary.
Or bring in someone who specializes in hoodoo and voodoo to like talk
Yeah, like,
about exciting things that could make it like, spiced up, like you said.
oh yeah, like there could have been specialists on board that could have made it even better. And I just feel like, did you guys just looked at all the wrong books possibly? Because like I said at the beginning of the show, as it progressed before it got to that, it was pretty cool. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
was very kind of stereotypical on some stuff, but visually it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then that happened, like, it just kind of ruined it for me.
You're like, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Well, also you're mixing like hoodoo voodoo with witchcraft, which I don't think that would really be done. I think it would be one or the other. You know what I mean?
Well, that and the turf war between the two, it was just that.
Yeah, you're right. The war that no, that's not going to happen. People who practice voodoo don't care what people who practice hoodoo and witchcraft do. There's not going to be a war over it.
No,
We're too lazy and tired to do that, honestly. But that's what happened in Sabrina too. They did a war between like the elders and like the pagans. Did you see that?
oh yeah,
They made the pagans out to be like,
that was a weird one.
I don't even what I was like, what is happening here? Jesus.
It was like, wait, are you?
The pagans were like,
hippies on extreme, or
they were
something.
like hippies that were like living in a cult. The pagans were like the hippies, and they were like, we don't like the hippies. And I was like,
It was-
what? You have
it
to.
was so weird. And then you had like the coven jumping. Then you had the witches jumping between like Hecate and then Lilith, and then it's like, pick a deity.
I'm sorry, that's like such a like pagan thing to say, Elfie.
Like,
Pick
well,
one.
And in the one season, they're like, well, I guess we worship Lilith now because she's queen of hell. But then later on, they're like, no, it must be Hecate. It's like, is it basically whoever answers your call is like, yep, we're going with that
Well,
one.
and it was the Church of Satan, and then that changed to what was it? It changed because he like Satan got mad at him or something, and then it changed to something else. I don't even know. And I was like, what's going on? This
Well,
sounds like Hollywood. It's all over the place here.
Well, it was first Church of Night, and they worshiped Satan. Then they found out Satan was a jerk, and that they were like, nope. And
Satan's a jerk. I'm screaming. I can't. Whoa, I'm crying again. Whoa.
right, Lilith is now queen of hell. She took over and everything. So they're like, okay, I guess we worship Lilith now because she's in charge of hell.
Oh, that's right. It was, but there was something in between. There was something in between that like Faustus changed it to.
Oh, that's right, because he was kind of trying to bring it back old school or something. He's like, I want to bring it back to the way it used to be.
Yeah, I can't
Where
remember.
I guess witches were subordinate and the wizards were in charge or some.
That's a mood.
He was having like a midlife crisis.
Jesus, Elfie, you say the one-liners, I swear to God. Oh, God. Kat says, Elfie's amazing. She is.
Oh,
Okay, I want to talk about Kat, though, at the end. Not our Kat.
Yeah.
The death of Caitlin Rustin. She died on April 19th of 2020. It was all over the media that her death happened. Virginia teen dies. She was 19 years old. 2 days after summoning ancient Haitian Vodou deity Papa Legba. Okay, I tried to find her obituary. I tried to find her. I tried to find information on her death, like if there was like an autopsy report. Couldn't find that. She was a single parent, which is really sad because like someday her child is gonna Google her name. And it's going to pop up that she died from this Haitian deity. Can you imagine that? Your child, you're dead and gone, and your kid has to grow up and Google that you were doing black magic or something, and you died because some creepy monster came and got... it's just horrible. It's just horrible. Anyway, I don't know. Like, okay, she was 19 years old. She was obviously young. She did say she was a practicing pagan. She said she was practicing magic. Let's just start here and say, do I think that she was murdered by Papa Legba? No, okay? I don't. I think that he's busy. I think he has a lot of other things to do besides kill some white girl that was 19. Like, I mean, what do you think?
Well, they and the posts were talking about how she supposedly was doing this to curse her girlfriend,
I think
and
was it her girlfriend or was it her boyfriend's new girlfriend or something like that?
no, I think it was her girlfriend, her girlfriend, and everything, and there was a puppet doll with some hair, and they're
Oh,
like,
that's
oh, you're
right.
not,
She was trying to hex her ex. That's a mood. Welcome to
yeah,
the club, ho.
and it was just one of those people were trying to make connections and everything, and oh yeah, there's the post and
Yeah,
everything,
I'm
and it's
seeing it.
like,
It says that she tried to hex her ex, and that because
mm,
Papa Legba got mad at her, he killed her. Okay, first of all, we don't know her history of her health, okay? Second
mm,
of all, it says that she may have died from an anxiety attack. There's other things that said something she like drowned in a bathtub. Oh,
yeah.
come on. This isn't even a bad deity in my opinion. Do you think it is?
Well, I think also you have to think too, like this was at the early stages of 2020, early stages of the pandemic. She had just had a baby who was like 5 months old.
Mhm. Mhm.
There could have been underlying health concerns from either just having a baby or something else.
Postpartum is a thing for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like the obituary is very simple, and so it's like obviously something happened that the family didn't want to talk about.
Well, yeah,
And
the
as
family
far as like
never
the
came
God,
forward and said anything about this.
no. Like I think they honestly just wanted to leave it be. There was a GoFundMe that was created by someone in the family. I want to say maybe.
Well, this is literally what the obituary said. It's so short, I can read it. Caitlin Ann, or Kat Rustin, 19, bright spirit who inspired others to forge on during challenging times. Caitlin Ann Kat Rustin was 19 of Virginia Beach, passed away unexpectedly Sunday, April 19th, 2020, at her mother's home. Caitlin was born November 29th of 2000. She was raised in Virginia Beach and attended Plaza Middle and Green Run High School. Caitlin was a proud new mom and adored her new baby, Aaliyah. She was always the bright spirit of any gathering, and her resilience was to keep going in challenging times, inspired by many of her family and friends. Caitlin will always be deeply loved and very missed by all. Nothing
Mm,
on what happened. Honestly, yeah, there was a GoFundMe page on April 23rd that was brought up. It was a campaign titled For Aaliyah, Her Daughter, in memory of Caitlin Rustin.
mm,
As of May 1st, 2020, the campaign exceeded its goal of $20,000, or I'm sorry, $2,000. Then it was sitting at over 9,200 on that day. Then they kept upping the amount because obviously the media took the story and felt bad, and started donating. I hope that the
yeah.
kid got it. I highly doubt the kid got it. Probably went for like funeral expenses.
Mm,
It says campaign description explained of the goal, providing a trust fund for Aaliyah. Um, and I hate to say this, but this is what happened when Christian died. I talk about this in my book. Christian was was declared a suicide when he died in 2015. He came to me in a dream and told me he was murdered. He said that he was involved with some bad people and it was a drug deal sort of gone bad. And his girlfriend at the time set up a GoFundMe page. We have a huge circle of friends in Colorado, and everybody donated, mainly because they needed the money for his, cremation, funeral, burial expenses. And it exceeded $6,000 within a couple of days. It ended up getting
oh,
up to like $12,000. And the girlfriend withdrew the money and never paid for Christian's burial.
oh no.
She went and took the money and spent it on drugs. And Christian's brother had to step forward, who's in the military, and paid full for his brother's cremation and burial costs. Um,
Oh,
so, I mean, I hate to say this, but this happens a lot. And it's sad because there's people out there that really need it, like
mm,
actually need it, and they're going to take the money for what it's supposed to be for, versus
mm.
people that just abuse the system. And I hate to say it that it does happen because it happened to Christian too.
Yeah, it happens too often. Like there's so many times when there's a tragedy and you will see GoFundMe's, and that's when you definitely have to fact check, make sure is this GoFundMe actually going to go to where you're hoping, or is it just someone doing a money grab?
Another thing that I wanted to kind of chat about is I have a couple of her tweets that she was talking about before she ended up dying. So
Mm,
apparently they were active. If you search Kat Rustin, Kat Rustin, Restin. They are there, or they were. I haven't seen them. This is a page that actually took screenshots. But she obviously talks about doing occult practices. She talks about being publicly Wiccan. She says, let people live and have their own religion. If someone is into something different, accept that. Stop saying, no, you come from God. Don't use that against people for their religion. She also said that she talked publicly about summoning Papa Legba. She talked publicly about using voodoo dolls or doll babies, and she would use hair for them. So I think that was the part that was probably looked down upon in the Haitian voodoo communities, because, and I will say that, this is what I will say. I've never done dark spell work, and I'm not expecting Elfie to respond, because if she has, that's her business. That's not publicly that it needs to be talked about by anybody. It is up to the practitioner to ever, admit that or deny it. But I will say that spiritual practices like witchcraft are very private practices, and I don't think they should be publicized most of the time. Now, if we're like the four of us, Elfie, myself, Kat, and Shaylee, are going into a location doing a summoning, like we're doing seance. That's fun to record. Those are pretty innocent, or giving, like, Elfie loves to give offerings. I can't wait to have Elfie on set because she's so knowledgeable on all this stuff. But it's a whole nother thing, like, posting on social media, like, oh, I made a voodoo doll using my ex-girlfriend's hair. Yeah, that's a problem. And even if you're doing that, it should probably be done privately.
Well, yeah, for me personally, so I will post, like, I'm very, like, I think I've maybe posted a picture of my altar, like, twice ever. Because, like I said, there's a difference between, like, if I am out doing a public ritual or public event, or even if we're, like, investigating and we're doing some sort of ritual or offering, that's in the public space to me, so that's totally fine for filming. When it comes to my own personal, like, ritual work or spell work, I keep that very private, because I at least feel like if you're doing spell work, you don't want any kind of interference. I feel like if you're going to post a picture of, like, here's my spell I'm about to do.
Well, but it's especially
like someone interfering.
Especially,
with that.
Yes, absolutely. Even Kat and I have done spell work together, and that's fun. It's fun when you have, like, your little coven and you're doing it together, especially when it's, like, abundance and, like, money spells. Like, those are fun. That makes you feel like you're, like, the universe is listening to your little coven or whatever. But it's a whole nother thing like I said, I've never practiced dark magic, but I sure as hell if I wouldn't be posting it on social media. I don't think, in my opinion, like, it's interference. And social media, words are spells. Words are spells. Even if you're writing a sentence or two about the voodoo doll on social media, words are spells. And now people are coming in, and now it's involving other people. And you're right, it's getting interference. And who knows what kind of backlash you could get back for that.
Also, like, if you're doing baneful magic, you don't really want to post that publicly, because, like, the person you're probably doing baneful towards probably will see
right
that.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's what I mean.
By the way, I'm doing this spell on you.
I know, and like, she's gone, God rest her soul, wherever she's at. I hope to God she's, like, safe away from Papa Legba and all these people that were harassing her online. But, like, why she would post a photo of her voodoo doll from her ex makes no sense to me. That tells me that she was screaming for attention, and that maybe she was struggling with some mental health too. Because if you post things wanting people to see them, obviously. And so I just, and who knows, she was trying to hex her ex-girlfriend. That's why people are like, good, she should have died from it. Oh, come on. Nobody deserves to die. No, do I think she should be hexing her ex? Yeah, probably not. Like, I think you just need to... That girl, you need some soul searching. If you're at the point where you're hexing your ex, like, you need to do some self-love and look inside first before you start putting, like, bad juju onto others. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We also have to remember, like, she was 19 years old. She was still, like...
a baby.
Just out of her teens. And so she was still probably very also early in her path work, and everyone did the ridiculous stuff when you first started magic. Everyone made mistakes. Like, unfortunately, a lot of times now, a lot of it's on public
How many
social media.
mistakes did you make when it didn't even involve magic? I mean, I was an
Yeah.
idiot. Thank God. Social
Yeah. No.
media wasn't around when I was in my like, I mean, there was like, MySpace and Facebook. I think MySpace became a big thing when I was like 19. I was on MySpace.
Hmm.
But oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even want to know what this girl would have posted, okay? Thank God. Because now I have a brain and I know, like, that's not a good idea to
Well,
post that.
I can only imagine what it would have been like if I had like Tumblr or TikTok or those
Oh.
social media at my teen years or something. Then
Haven't you
I
seen some of
probably
the
would have posted
TikToks where they're
stuff.
like trauma bonding and they're like telling these like traumatic stories and you're like, girl, just go to therapy, boo. Like, you don't need to post it for millions of people to see. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Woo! We've all
It's
got therapy.
and I think the problem is it's like so many of these early like these people who are just new on their path. This is the way they know how to socialize or how to post it. Like, it just makes sense.
And
And
in a
unfortunately,
pandemic.
we're seeing the mistakes and the learning curve of what everyone else who is older has already made. We just were lucked out. We didn't have the social media to publicly make ourselves look like fools
Oh my
sometimes.
God, thank God. I'm just really grateful for my age right now. But with that being said, too, though, if you think about things like making mistakes or whatever and like
Mm.
social media, we tying that into cancel culture, which is why I hate cancel culture so much. Once again, yeah, if you're a rapist, bye. If you're a pedo, bye. Like, yeah, absolutely. But like, the things with cancel culture is like just cancel everybody that does bad things. Understand, like, we've all fucked up. We've all made mistakes at some point. All of us have. Oh my God. Haven't you ever been there laying at night and you're like trying to sleep and you get anxiety and you're looking up the ceiling and you're like, do you remember when I was 13 and I said that stupid thing to my boyfriend? Oh, I'm so embarrassed by that. Like, literally, you make mistakes. Like, that's how we grow. And I feel like society has shamed us into learning that mistakes are cancellations. Like, no, everybody messes up. Nobody's perfect.
Mhm.
But you
Oh
shouldn't be
yeah.
canceled for it just because you made a mistake.
And I think unfortunately it's that I think it's that joy sometimes, like, because there's the difference, I think, between like when you're putting someone on blast when someone's like done really bad thing. It's like, no, really, people need to know you can't bury this.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the malicious joy of dogpiling on someone for something that might have happened like 12 years ago that they have probably already addressed and apologized for, but yet you dug it up and like, now we must cancel you for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
I know.
have we not moved on?
I know. It's hard. It's really, and once again, people that have done things that shouldn't be forgiven. Yeah, I agree with, Harvey Weinstein's right where he should be. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't wait for this younger generation to grow up and look back and be like, oh yeah, I made mistakes too. Whoops, I made. Yeah, but you don't know that till you have experience and age.
The internet's forever. Oh no.
Like, it's permanent. Oh, and somebody also downloaded that video and reposted it 20 times. So even if you delete it, it's still out there forever.
If the Kardashians can't get photos taken off the internet, it is forever for everyone.
Oh, it's forever. It's forever. What a fun stream. So the last thing I kind of want to touch base on is Shaylee. So
Ooh.
I announced Shaylee last week. So I kind of want to talk about Shaylee a little bit because I had a lot of people asking me questions. If you don't follow me on social media, early last week, I announced that we have added a fourth member to Ghost Girl Diaries, a fourth and final member to Ghost Girl Diaries. Yes, we are planning on hitting the road soon and filming, and we're excited for it. And Shaylee is number 4. So why number 4? Why 4 of us? Well, at one time we had Chanel and Brittany involved, and obviously Elfie's kind of coming. Elfie's kind of our like edgy dark witch, she's our knowledgeable edgy book witch, Kat's obviously our earthy witch. I'm kind of like the tribal spiritual witch on the side of the witch leader, I guess, supreme being here. And then we needed somebody else. I wanted another persona, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted. And I was looking, I had a lot of people apply to be a part of us. And the problem is that, you know, we're going to be going to some scary places potentially in the future, and I want to make sure there's somebody out there that can handle that. And a lot of the people that I would interview, I would say, can you handle being in the dark alone? I know that sounds like a very simple question. And most of the time they said no. Most of the time. Elfie's like, great, that does a lot of help. You know what I mean? Like, apply for a paranormal show. Can you be in the dark alone? No? Okay, well, this probably isn't going to work. You know what I mean? And it's true.
That eliminates quite a lot right there.
I feel like you should have thought that through just a little bit before you applied. You know what I mean? So anyway, I had done a lot of interviews over the past, months, literally months of interviews, and I met Shaylee a couple of years ago. Shaylee used to work at the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, and she was my tour guide a couple of times, and she was obviously a fan of Ghost Girl Diaries. And we've stayed friends. She doesn't work at I think she stopped working at the museum about a year ago or a couple of years ago. I can't remember. Anyway, she and I stayed friends, and she has her own little following. She does makeup. She's amazing. She's younger. She's the baby of the group. She's youngest of all of us. And I messaged her one day, and because we obviously stay in touch, and I said, hey, this is a really random thing, but I said, I'm looking to bring someone in, as a fourth member, and you kind of fit the criteria. So I want to bring Shaylee to my house. Obviously, this is the studio, and have her in for like a podcast chat so you guys can get to know her. But the gist of her background is she did have a lot of paranormal experiences as a kid. I'm going to let her share some of those. And she worked at the museum for, I think it was over a year, maybe 2 years. And I'm laughing because this girl, like, she doesn't have a lot of experience investigating, okay? Like, and what I mean is, like, using equipment, okay? She's currently being trained by Kat and I on film, so she's learning film right now with us. She's in what Kat calls Crystal's film school at the moment, to prepare her for set. But she used to walk and wander the haunted museum alone for hours.
Ooh. That just sounds cool right there. Like,
she's guts. Like,
she's... You want to hang out at a spooky place? I've hung out in the museum.
By herself. Yeah, and I would be like, so wait, you didn't, like, investigate? She's like, well, no, like, Zach has equipment there, but, like, we don't really use it, But she's like, I want to, like, get to know these energies by, like, hanging out in the different rooms and, like, feeling their energy. She'd wander there and go sit in the Dybbuk box room by herself.
That's awesome.
This girl is, like, tough as nails. I was like, damn, I don't even know if I would do that. Like, shit,
I like the idea, like, she just wanted to, like, soak up the energy or get the feeling, like, not get distracted by stuff, just, like, be in the moment of it.
Yeah, she's like, I would purposely go to work early so that I could wander the halls. Is that great? Like, what?
That's so cool.
And then I would purposely stay after, and I'd wander the museum. So, like, this girl is guts. Like, she's got guts. So, I love her to death. She's very sweet. She's like our baby. She's the innocent one. We're definitely shielding her from the outside world and the harm that Elfie and I have experienced.
Don't worry, we'll help.
Yeah, we've got it. Don't worry, Shaylee. No, so she's very sweet. She's a Leo, so she brings in a little bit of fire to the crew. You're a Leo or are you a Virgo?
I'm on the cusp. I'm a Leo Virgo.
Oh, you're a Leo Virgo. Okay. And I'm the earth sign that keeps us grounded. Cat's the Aries that's floating above us in the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever knows where Cat's at.
Her makeup work is beautiful. Like,
Shaylee.
Her artistic skills with just playing around with makeup and just.
I loved that too. She was on the girly side. She likes clothes. She likes makeup. She's very grounded, though. I love how grounded she is. She's all about learning, and so her sort of character involved with Ghost Girl Diaries is for her to be authentic, which is she's new to this journey, and you guys get to be on the journey with her, which I love, because I know I have a lot of fans out there for years that have wanted to do paranormal, but they've never like found the group or had the guts to do it. And now you get to be on this journey with Shaylee, where she's the newbie, but she's like very enthusiastic, like you guys. It's funny because her and I were having a chat the other day, and she was talking, and she's like, when we're like, going out to film, like what kind of locations are you looking into? Like, are like asylums, like. And I looked at her and I said, Shaylee, I don't think I can find a darker place than the museum. Like, you worked in the museum for like 2 years, boo, and I don't think I can take you anywhere worse than that. So, I think you're going to be fine. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited. What do you think of Shaylee so far?
I think she's awesome. Like, I've only been able to chat with her here and there, and like I said, her makeup's amazing. She's very enthusiastic and seems to be really just want to learn and very eager to learn. And that's what I love. And just like, yeah, let's just do it.
I met her.
I totally like. I at least so far I see that she has. I have no problem with the idea of like her going, like we going into a place and it's like, okay, now we have to go to a super dark place. She'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much.
She'd be just cool with it, like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what I told her. I was like, Shaylee, I don't think I can, literally, like, the Dybbuk box is in there, like, the Devil's Rocking Chair is in there, like, there's a severed head now that's in there. I don't think I can take you somewhere worse than that. And she was like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I'm right. Like, and you were, like, alone wandering, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, she's very great. I met her last week, and I had to hand deliver her a film book, and we were chatting for a few minutes, and she was like, I was, explaining to her I want her to read the whole book, but, like, I want you to read a couple of chapters and then take away and then come back and then, like, don't, and she's like, no, I'm gonna go home and read it all. And I was like, no. She's just very excited. She's very excited to be on this journey, and I'm excited. I love having that she's in Vegas, knowing that when we start getting ready to travel and stuff, that I'll have her to be able to help me prep equipment. And so yeah, it's great. It's really, even though Kat's going to be moving out at some point. And before we're traveling, I think we're all going to go on vacation, right, Elfie? We don't know what we're doing yet. So far, the only thing we've confirmed is maybe going to a couple of shows in Vegas, and that's about it.
There
Like, yeah, I would like to go to the beach, but
forever, right?
yeah, why don't we do like Vegas for a few days and then drive up to like Lake Tahoe before we hit the road? I think that'd be fun.
Oh, I've never been up to Lake Tahoe.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Clear water. Oh, crystal clear water. It's gorgeous. At least on the south side. But yeah, so I mean, we can do Cali, but just I don't know. Cali's a mess right now. It's a mess right now. I don't know if I'm ready to go to Cali right now. Like, I need the pandemic to end first. Oh, man. Well, that concludes today's podcast, guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will have this uploaded tomorrow, possibly tonight, whenever it downloads. And what are we doing next week with Kat? Do you know what we're doing next week with Kat? Can't even remember. Google Sheets. Let's go see. I should have this pulled up before each time, but I'm really irresponsible. What are we doing next week, Kat? Do you know? Kat's like, I have no idea. Oh, I just went into the wrong.
Oh, Atlantis.
Ooh, that'll be.
You guys are doing Atlantis May 7th.
Oh, we have some tea on Atlantis, and then my birthday is May 10th.
Cool.
That was my chosen chat because of my birthday on a quarantine again.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love Atlantis. Oh yeah, I watched a really good documentary. I can't wait to share what I saw about that because I definitely think that was a past life for me for sure. I was definitely like a mermaid or something. I don't know. This life, I was like.
Actually, that works perfectly because it's the whole mermaid month and everything.
Elfie.
No,
But literally, oh my god, jeez, Elfie's one-liners.
Look up the month. It is a artistic month of mermaid, and people will try to do, I think, almost every day a mermaid theme.
I thought it was like May the 4th be with you. I thought it was like very, You know, I wish we'd go to Disneyland. We could go to Disneyland for vacation, but they're only letting locals in right now, so we can't do that. I just feel like I need to be by water for the vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, no, I understand. Like, I've been wanting. I have never been a huge beach person, but suddenly it's like last year, I wanted to be by a beach. I wanted to see like ocean.
It's because we're freaking in quarantine still.
So I was
Literally.
like, I need a large body of water.
Oh, we could go to Carmel. We could go to Carmel. That has whale watching and dolphin watching. That'd be fun. We could do that. That'd be fun. It's not too far.
That would be.
I like how we're planning our vacation on the podcast. Thank you, everyone, for being involved in our plans.
Where do you want to go? I don't know. What do you feel like?
Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on social media. Also, Kat and I are going to start up the TikTok for Ghost Girl Diaries in the next probably 3 or 4 days. So if you're not following us yet on TikTok, make sure you find us at Ghost Girl Diaries because we're going to start that up. I'm excited. We're going to do like... We have a lot of ideas, ideas for everything.
Are you going to do the TikTok dances?
No, absolutely not. And, here's why. I was a cheerleader in high school, and so any dance that I do is going to turn out I'm going to look like a cheerleader. I'm going to be like rah rah, and so I'm not going to do that. I don't get the TikTok dances, to be honest with you. But you know what? Whatever floats your boat.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not into it. Like, I don't know. I don't do the hair flip thing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys. Elfie, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You as well. Hopefully you feel better and everything, and no more damage.
You know what? We're just not going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like... No, I do have a minor outpatient surgery next Thursday, and then I have another one on the following Thursday, because we're going to be filming, and I've got to get this done, and I can't have, a torn ligament in my foot. Okay, I don't have time for this.
I mean, we can wheel you around and everything. That'd be
Would
fine.
you? Would you mind, like, if we got one of those like child red wagons? Would you pull me in it?
Oh yeah, we'll make this work.
Jesus. I'm just sitting in the bucket, like, on Twitter. You and Kat are, like, taking turns pulling me. Hey, thanks. Oh, my God. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for... Back from the dead.